Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Stottar Sadasri Srimad Avaitsarana Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All assembled devotees Hari Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hari Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hari Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tathurjayat Mudirai Nasayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavate Naistuke Yam Syanubhavam Akhilam Sutisaramekam Adhyatmadipamatitir Satam Tamunnam Samsarina Karunaya Purana Guyam Tam Vyasasunamupayam Gurur Maninam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 26. King Puranjana goes to the forest to hunt, and his queen becomes angry. Is it the first chapter?
Yeah.
Starting? Yeah. Is it 3 verses combined together? We may not be able to go after it, so I just read and then you repeat after me, and then I'll read word to word. Narada Vacha Sa ekada maheswaso Ratam panchashamasugam Duisam duichakramikangsham Trivenum panchabandhuram Ekarasme kadamane Eka nidam dvikubaram Pancha praharanam sapta Parutham pancha bikramam Haimo paskaram aruya Swarna Barma Kshae Yudhi Ekadasa Chamunatha Panchaprastham Agadvanam. Word meaning? Narada Vacha. Narada said, Saha King Puranjana Ekada once upon a time Maha Iswasa carrying his strong bow and arrows Ratham chariot Pancha Aswam 5 horses Asugam, Asugam, going very swiftly. Dvesam, two arrows. Dvechakram, two wheels. Eka, one. Ekasam, sorry, Aksam, axle. Three. Benum, flags. Pancha, five. Bandhuram, obstacles. Eka, one. Rasmi, rope. Rain, sorry, rope or rain. Yeah. Eka, one. Damanam, chariot driver. Eka, one. Nidam, sitting place. Dvi, two. Kubaram, post to which the harness are fixed. Harness, not harness, harness are fixed. Sorry. Pancha, five. Praharanam, weapons. Sapta, seven. Barutham, coverings or ingredients of the body. Pancha, five. Vikramam, processes. Haima, golden. Upaksaram, ornaments. Aruya, riding on. Swarna, golden. Burma, armor. Akshaya, inexhaustible. Isudvehe, quiver. Ekadasa, 11. Ekadasi, 11. Chamu, Natha, commanders. Pancha, five. Prastham, destinations. Objectives. Agat, went. Banam, to the forest. So many numericals. 1, 2, 5, 7, 5, 10, 11, 12, 8. It's all about your body. That's it. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the longest purport. Oh. The great sage Narada continued, my dear king, once upon a time, King Puranjana took up his great bow, and equipped with golden armor and a quiver of unlimited arrows and accompanied by 11 commanders. He sat on a chariot driven by 5 swift horses and went to the forest named Panchaprastha. He took with him in that chariot 2 explosive arrows. The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. On the chariot were 3 flags, 1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place, 2 poles, to which the harness was fixed, 5 weapons and 7 coverings. The chariot moved in 5 different styles, and 5 obstacles lay before it. All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold. Purport. We are skipping following this too. These 3 verses explain how the material body of the living entity is under the control of the 3 qualities of the external energy. The body itself is the chariot, and the living entity is the owner of the body, as explained in Bhagavad Gita 2:13, Dehino Isminatha Dehi. The owner of the body is called the Dehi, and he is situated within the body, specifically within the heart. The living entity is driven by 1 chariot driver. The chariot itself is made of 3 gunas. three qualities of material nature as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 1861, Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. The word yantra means carriage. The body is given by material nature, and the driver of the body is Paramatma, the super soul. The living entity is seated within the chariot. This is the actual position. The living entity is always being influenced by the three qualities sattva, goodness, rajas, passion, and tamas, ignorance. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:13. Tribhir Gunamayir Bhavai. The living entity is bewildered by the three qualities of material nature. These three qualities are described in this verse as three flags. By a flag, one can come to know who the owner of the chariot is. Similarly, by the influence of the three qualities of material nature, one can easily know the direction in which the chariot is moving. In other words, one who has eyes to see can understand how the body is being driven, influenced by the particular type of quality of material nature. In these three verses, the activity of the living entity is described to prove how the body becomes influenced by the quality of ignorance. Even when a person wants to be religious, Narada Muni wanted to prove to King Prachina Barishad that the king was being influenced by the tamoguna, the quality of ignorance, even though the king was supposed to be very religious. According to Karma Kandiya, the process of primitive activities, a person performs various sacrifices directed by the Vedas, and in all those sacrifices, animal killing or experimenting on the life of animals to test the power of Vedic mantras is enjoined. Animal killing is certainly conducted under the influence of the mode of ignorance. Even though one may be religiously inclined, animal sacrifice is recommended in the Shastras, not only in the Vedas but even in the modern scriptures of other sects. These animal sacrifices are recommended in the name of religion, but actually animal sacrifice is meant for persons in the mode of ignorance. When such people kill animals, they can at least do so in the name of religion. However, when the religious system is transcendental like the Vaishnava religion, there is no place for animal sacrifice. Such a transcendental religious system is recommended by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 1866. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami ma suchah. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Because King Prachina Barishad was engaged in performing various sacrifices in which animals were killed, Narada Muni pointed out that such sacrifices are influenced by the modes of ignorance. From the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1-2, it is said, Dharma projito kaitavotra paramo nirmat saranam satam. All kinds of religious systems that are involved in cheating are completely kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavata Dharma, the religious dealing with one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, animal sacrifice is not recommended. In the performance of some Sankirtana Yajna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, there is no recommendation for animal sacrifices. In these three verses, King Puranjana is going to the forest to kill animals is symbolic to the living entities being driven by the mode of ignorance and thus engaging in different activities for sense gratification. The material body itself indicates that the living entity is already influenced by the three modes of material nature and that it is driven to enjoy material resources. When the body is influenced by the mode of ignorance, its infection becomes very acute. When it is influenced by the mode of passion, the infection is at the symptomatic stage. However, when the body is influenced by the mode of goodness, the materialistic infection becomes purified. The ritualistic ceremonies recommended in religious systems are certainly on the platform of goodness. But because within the material world, even the mode of goodness is sometimes polluted by the other qualities, namely passion and ignorance. A man in goodness is sometimes of ignorance. It is herein described that King Puranjana once went to the forest to kill animals. This means that he, the living entity, came under the influence, the mode of ignorance. The forest in which King Puranjana engaged in hunting was named Panchaprastha. The word Pancha means five, and this indicates the object of five senses. The body has five working senses, namely the hands, the legs, the tongue, the rectum, and the genitals. By working full advantage of these working senses, it enjoys material life. The chariot is driven by five horses, which represent the five sense organs, namely the eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. These sense organs are very easily attracted by sense objects. Consequently, the horses are described as moving. On the chariot, King Puranjana kept two explosive weapons, which may be compared to ahankara or false ego. This false ego is typified by two attitudes. I am this body, ahanta, and everything in my bodily relationships belongs to me, mamata. The two wheels of the chariot may be compared to the two moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. The chariot is decorated with three flags, which represent the three modes of material nature. The five kinds of obstacles or uneven roads represent the five kinds of air passing within the body. These are prana, apana, udana, samana, and vyana. The body itself is covered by seven coverings, namely skin, muscle, fat, blood, marrow, bone, and semen. The living entity is covered by three subtle material elements and five gross material elements. These are obstacles placed before the living entity on the path of liberation from material bondage. The word rasmi, rope, in this verse indicates the mind. The word nida is also significant, for nida indicates the nest where a bird takes rest. In this case, nida is the heart, where the living entity is situated. The living entity sits in one place only. The causes of this bondage are two, namely lamentation and illusion. In material existence, the living entity simply hankers to get something he can never get. Therefore, he is in illusion. As a result of being in this illusory situation, the living entity is always lamenting. Thus, lamentation and illusion are described herein as Dvi Kubara, the two hosts of bondage. The living entity carries out various desires through five different processes. which indicate the working of the five working senses. The golden ornaments and dress indicate that the living entity is influenced by the quality of rajoguna passion. One who has a good deal of money or riches is especially driven by the mode of passion. Being influenced by the mode of passion, one desires to so many things for enjoyment in this material world. The 11 commanders represent the 10 senses and the mind. The mind is always making plans with the 10 commanders to enjoy the material world. The forest named Panchaprastha, where the king went to hunt, is the forest of five sense objects from form, taste, sound, smell, and touch. Thus, in these three verses, Narada Muni describes the position of the material body and the encasement of the living entity within it. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitamena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschatyadarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktabhinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam scans us through all the way to our heart, scanning machine like a mammogram. All the Vedic literatures, varieties of shastras, they encourage people to live, to utilize all these different ingredients that the body has and make a profit out of it and live a better life, aspire for promotion to higher planetary systems, and enjoy the result of your pious activities. That's all. Mostly Vedas are inspiring people, at least to bring them to the level of goodness, the mode of goodness. But Srimad Bhagavatam has completely rejected all these ideas about enjoying spirit in this material world without Krishna. That is the proposition of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is scanning our consciousness, our everything through, and extract the pure nature, the transcendental nature of the soul, and try to engage that soul to the service of the Supreme Lord. And that is why Srimad Bhagavatam is glorified among the community of Paramahamsas. So the language mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam is the language of the Paramahamsa, Samadhi Vasa. When you are in trance, in your sadhana, meditation, trance means you are connected to the Supreme Lord. You can see the Lord within, and then you are releasing out of all the Vedic literatures. Sukadev Goswami is speaking, bringing that ultimate nectar. That is why these kind of literatures are not easily taken or digested or accepted by common population, because their main driving force is the mode of ignorance, and they always think about lower things that attract them very easily. Enjoyment, spirit. This is all going on here. But Upanishad teaches us, especially in Chandogya Upanishad, it teaches that there are three main of studying all the scriptures. One is the very first is Prabhupada is quoting this many times. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all the great Acharya, they are also talking about it. It's called Sravanam. First of all, we hear this Shastras, we hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we hear devotees, we hear this philosophy, we hear that philosophy. We are always hearing something. Sravanam. So daily hearing is very, very important. So after we hear from scriptures, from devotees, from pure devotees or acharyas, the next step we need to do is, after hearing what we do, we need to do the second part is mananam. Manan means to go inside, and I heard that Kirtan Yajna says something. What does it mean? How can I apply this in my life? Manana means application. If I hear, and if I learn something, not apply, then what is the use of that? It has to be applied in our life. Application is different. The same ideas, same instruction are given in the scriptures. A different person applied that in different form and different ways, because we are all different individual souls. So suppose there is a coat, the coat, according to the size of your body, then the coat is bigger and smaller and medium and different sizes. But object is the same. So when we have instruction from the scriptures, all the writing of the acharyas, they are all, the instruction is there always available for everyone. And then when application part come, we need guidance from spiritual master. Guru will teach us how to apply this science to in my life. This application may differ from your life to his life to her life, but we need to somehow apply the knowledge in our life. There is meaning of hearing, Sravanam, hearing. Then when we apply, after application, the last stage is called Nidhi Dhyasanam. Sravanam, you can remember this technical term. Mananam and Nidhi Dhyasanam. Nidhi Dhyasanam means what are the result of my application, of the application of this knowledge? Am I getting some result in my life? Or just I am going on along with the crowd and just enjoying my life? Am I getting some result out of it? Suppose if I go to gym, Mother Divya like to swim. When she goes to swim, if she is not developing her muscle, if she is not getting stronger and swim a little longer every time, then she is not getting any result, any benefit. If I go to, and if my muscles are not growing big, no benefit. So Nidhi Dhyasana means, am I understanding that this body is an obstacle for my spiritual progress? Because of the body, because of me being encased in this body, how hard it is for me to even remember Krishna. Not only remember Krishna, even to do simple rules and regulations in my life. So the pure devotee always think this body as an obstacle for their devotional service. Or am I getting free from all kind of attachment or not? Am I getting udasina gatabhyatha? Am I being uninterested into this material world? And I am free from betha means worries, unnecessary stresses. Is my vision getting clear or no? By practicing this bhakti yoga. This is called nidhi dhyasana. So we need to introspect every time. Especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Ekadasi is the day that devotee sit down, meditate and think, what have I applied so far and what have I achieved in this last 15 days? Comes and devotee analyze themselves. They go inside, deeper inside, and what am I learning in my spiritual life? My senses are controlled or not? Is my mind is under my control? That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who controls his mind, he can see the presence of super soul. Mind controlled person can see the super soul. Am I progressing into that direction? So we sit down and we analyze, make a conclusion. Yes, this my goal was to go to the 10, but somehow for this last 15 days I only achieved 7, so I need to work more. This way we keep recording our spiritual progress by going deeper into our own self. That is the practical application and analyzing the benefit out of it. If my tendency to enjoy into this material world continues, even after practicing a while, then I am not doing something right. I'm not doing things correctly. So I need to fix it on time. So this is very, very important to do the self-check every once in a while for all the devotees. And when we understand the science of bhakti yoga, then we do not become puffed up, we become humble. Krishna is talking with Uddhava that when devotees understand the devotional service, they become very shy of themselves because they see that how obnoxious they were when they were not devotees. They can see what a bad qualities they had when they were not devoted. Now, by remembering that bad quality and being situated in Krishna consciousness, they feel very ashamed of themselves. And one never pose his knowledge that I am a great personality. So Krishna consciousness is cultivation. Devotees, we are uplifting devotees by sharing and discussing every day. That's why we get inspiration from all the devotees so that it uplifts me. Just talking, lecturing is nothing. Anyone can talk. But how about our cultivation? How are we doing together, growing in Krishna consciousness? Am I getting better and better in my understanding? So this is what we need to help each other to grow and to get stronger in Bhakti Yoga. One time Lord Buddha, after he got enlightened, He was spreading his knowledge all over the Asia. That is why he is also called Light of Asia. That he was influencing his knowledge everywhere in India. Later on, he was kicked out by Sankaracharya in India. But then he went to other Asian countries, Thailand, China, other places too. Then, when he was in China, he made one disciple. Not made one disciple, one person was very, interested in what Buddha was speaking. And after he heard enough from Lord Buddha, he said, "Can I make you my guru?" Yeah, you can. You can make me your guru, but you have to pay the price. What is the price? You need to give your hand to me, one hand to me. One hand. And the disciple who was really interested and wanted to accept him as a guru, he cut his hand and gave it to him. There we have many stories in the Bhagavatam also. Then slowly and gradually his teachings was getting bigger and bigger, and he was attracting other disciples. One other lady joined them and somebody else came. Finally they became 4. And Lord Buddha says, "Now I have explained to you enough about this world, all the knowledge that I have. Now I need to go. I cannot be here all the time and spoon feed you." Then 4 disciples said, "That is okay. It will be a bad, we will really miss you, but who would be our leader after you leave?" One disciple asked, "Who would be our leader after you leave?" Then Lord Buddha let them speak. "Okay, let me find who would be the leader. All of you go ahead and speak what you have understood from me so far. And then after hearing you, I will choose who would be the leader." And everyone started speaking. All the knowledge they heard from Buddha is speaking up. This is this, life is this, material world is like that. We have to do moksha, emancipation, free, zero. Everything is sunya, then there's that. Speaking like all the knowledge they heard. But the one out of 4 who gave hand as a present, as a dakshina to the guru, he kept quiet. He did not speak nothing. His turn came, zipped his mouth. And Lord Buddha said, "He is your leader." What? He did not even answer anything. How come he became our leader? Because he understood the essence, that after learning all these things, he thinks he doesn't know anything. But you were so smart and thought you know everything, and you speak up, so he should be your guru. And all of them realized, wow, it's very profound. And they felt very ashamed of themselves, that they were real grateful. So same application in Krishna consciousness as well. Devotees, they do not unnecessarily pose their knowledge and show to the people that I am a great devotee, I am a great scholar, great person, I have understood so many things and understand everything. So when we go in front of our spiritual masters, then we realize we are a fool. We need to learn more. So Srimad Bhagavatam teaching us to get free from all these kind of qualities that normally material people cultivate in their life. It is nothing to do with external name, fame, or anything. We try to understand Krishna, or try to Krishna. with Krishna. Then when we, in detail, as explained in Bhakti Rasamrita by Rupa Goswami, all these beautiful qualities of Krishna, when we hear again and again, when we think in our own lonely time and try to appreciate those qualities, then the love arises from our heart. If I know Divya Mataji, how nice she is, then I can establish some relationship. If I don't know her, internally, only some externally, hi, hello, Haribol Mataji, then I cannot have a trusting relationship with her. So this whole world do not have idea about how can we make personal relationship with Krishna or God. It is beyond their imagination. If you go to Islamic place and say that God is a person, God has a girlfriend, God jokes, God dance, they will kill you right away. It's very hard for them to believe. Because they think that God must be great, the whole universe is coming from God. How can such a great personality can be confined in within a tiny body like us? They try to compare God with their own body and compare, and then it is unbelievable for them that God can be a person. But in Bhakti Yoga, in Bhagavatam is teaching that God God can be realized, understood in different ways. You can, just like scientists, they think that this whole universe is itself is God, is conscious, it can do so many miracle things. They cannot go beyond these universal affairs. And they are thinking that they are the greatest scholar, great knowledgeable people who know the science, and they're just fooling everybody. They do not understand that this whole universe is energy of Krishna, energy of God. Lord Brahma designed this whole universe thinking in the concept of Krishna's gigantic body. That is why it is called Virata Purusha, Virata Purusha, Virata Rupa. Our body of the universe, body of the Lord is a connection, designed in the same idea. That is why yogis, they connect their body to the cosmic body and cosmic body to the spiritual body of the Lord, and they can control the whole world. You remember Dhruva Maharaj when he was meditating? The whole world was choking. People were suffering in heavenly planets because he could connect himself to the cosmic body of the Lord and the supreme personality of the Lord in aligning. That is what yogis do. That is why Krishna says, Yomam pasyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pasyati. So when this vision arises in our heart, then we see everywhere Krishna's presence. We never ask, where is Krishna? Can you show me God? Then I believe. So this is the idea that Bhagavatam teaches. Don't try to see God with intelligence, try to see God with your heart. हृदय से भगवान को देखो, बुद्धि से नहीं. Understand? Try to see God through your heart, not through intelligence. But in sadhana bhakti stage, in Vaidhi bhakti, we always use our intelligence to see God first. We think, let me think if it is good for me or not. Let me think I wake up and go to Mangalarti or not. Let me try if this Hare Krishna chanting brings some peace in my life or not. But in Raganuga Bhakti, they do not consider all this external consideration. They put their heart in Krishna and then they just lovingly serve Krishna. This is called loving devotional service. When you put your heart in Krishna, then all the knowledge, Krishna says, I will reveal this knowledge to my devotees. I will not keep my devotees under illusion, under the sun, under the ignorance, darkness, because then they cannot represent me. It will be my defame when my devotees are ignorant. Jnana dippena bhaswata. I will diminish all the darkness that my devotee may have with the light of knowledge within their heart. We also sing in the morning, Dibya Gyan Hirday Prakashito. Prema Bhakti jahan hoite, avidya vinasa jate. Wherever there is prema bhakti, loving devotional service, ignorance should go away. There is no space for ignorance. So this is what all our acharyas are teaching us throughout the scriptures. So when we have this knowledge, then we are not driving in order to extract some happiness using the senses, this chariot, this mind, this karmendriyas, gyanendriyas, janendriyas, and all kind of things. This is giving us very nice analytical study, what this body is, what this body can give to you. It can either liberate you or bound you in this material world. So the choice is yours, ours. All right. Any discussion? Any questions? Yes, Damodar Prabhu, first. Okay.
In the verse, they talk about the two explosive arrows. And then in Prabhupada's purport, he describes that as the false ego, which leads to the conception of I and mine.
Yeah.
I just wondered why he uses the word explosive arrows rather than just arrows. Is it because the false ego?
False ego always like explode like this.
It destroys and blows up our spiritual life.
If I go outside and you and me fight on some basis, then we both we explode like anything. So another quick thing I wanted to tell, the most dangerous two-letter words is called mama. Me. Right? Mama, aham mameti, mama. And very sweet two-letter words is called, instead of mama, you say nama. Nama, oh, nama, nami, not me. Last time I forgot to mention about why Lakshmiji was out to dance in the Rasa dance. Because of her little ego that I am the queen of the Vaikuntha. These village girls are nothing before me.
She didn't want to give up her position.
Position. How big I am. That's a question. Okay, keep your pride aside, please. You do not know that Radharani is the Mahalakshmi from her. So it will drag us down, not help us at all. Hopefully today Ekadasi, today's Ekadasi, and we can do this scanning of our own progress within the last 15 days, and then we go ahead from tomorrow and again analyze another Ekadasi, and we become more and more Krishna conscious every day. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we should be Saragrahi, not Bharagrahi. Saragrahi means like a swan. You give water and milk together, swan only take water. Bharagrahi, they study whole scriptures and keep all the knowledge in their head and then start speculating everything. The Veda are the same. Vaishnava Acharyas make one conclusion, other Mayavadis make another conclusion and completely taking you down to the hell. So we need to be very, very careful what we study and who do we associate with and who do we listen. That is why Prabhupada was warning, do not listen unwanted literatures. Do not try to carry the load of the literatures and become scholar. Grab the essence. We are giving to you, and read and then make your life easy and love God. Know God. Develop the love for Krishna. And if we look Krishna, then Krishna, we can find him. In order to find him, we have to do some endeavor. Like last Sunday evening, one mom, she lost her baby. Her baby was nowhere. And she was like running everywhere in intense fear that my baby may be taken away by somebody else. She was crying, screaming, hey, did you see my child? She went with Pariksit. Both of them are not, I called, they are not responding. And then, wait. Did you go and look into the pond first? The water. Go to the pond. And did you try to Pariksit room? No, I don't know where is his room. And I went to the room and the baby was like there. And I told her, you have to have this intense feeling to find Krishna, then you can find God. Same thing for us too. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Listed 5 or 7 different kinds of air.
5 years.
Can you know what they are, each one of them?
Prana Bayu, Apana Bayu, Udana Bayu, Mana Bayu, like that. Every morning when we offer to the Bhoga to Krishna, Om Pranaya Swaha, Om Vyanaya Swaha, Om Apanaya Swaha, Om Udanaya Swaha, Om Samanaya Swaha. These are the 5 Bayus. That yogis control these 5 Bayus and take the soul to the top. And then
Do they correspond to chakras or something? What is
it is also correspond to Prana Bayu chakra, that the soul lies there. When these Bayus come out, then we are done. 5 Bayus. 7 layers covering skin, muscles, bones, marrow, all these 7 coverings. Very complicated machine. Jantra Rudhani Maya. Hare Krishna. Apana Bayu means down Bayu, when you passing gas, this is also one Bayu. So when your Bayu are not balanced, then you have a stomach problem. There is a science, the food will cause what kind of food you eat, that determine what kind of Bayu you have. Right, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Jai Ho. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hare Hare. Sorry if I did something wrong and spoke something wrong.